So are we here?
I think so.
We're super delayed.
It might be just the internets, the interwebs.
Or we have, well, we're pausing, we're breaking. I don't know if we're here yet or not, but we are super delayed. So let's see if I can get this going. I don't want to add. Oh, computer, come on. This is not going to be a quick night. There we go. Watch live video. Now we're ready to go. At least we're getting progress. Little by little, we will make it.
Maybe.
So, now you can grab your phone so you're setting up for Iowa Falls if you can try that. So,
I can try that. Wow.
We'll get going.
Well, see here, it's usually we were looking at that.
Okay, see, I don't know which one we're looking at. So.
But that's why it looks so delayed. Hi, guys.
Okay, we're here. At least now we're both here. So we might as well get this out and say, it's alive with Steph and Eileen.
Hi. Howdy, guys. Howdy. So, what am I doing?
You're trying to find Iowa Falls.
Oh, and then probably do a little bit of this.
She knows what she's doing, so...
I don't.
I can start with some basic announcements before we get going.
Announcements.
Okay, so Lucky 7 has started. I did not even realize that until I got here. So that's how well. I was in my other world. I know things when I need to know them, and that's about it. So, Lucky 7 with rainbows and calico things, quilters covered, So Be It, crazy redhead quilting, It's So Tempting, off the rails quilting, mended hearts quilting, and boutique. Is that what that BTQ is, or what's BTQ?
Oh, yeah, sorry, boutique. Sorry, my brain was going Simply Maze Boutique, but then...
Oh,
sorry.
Like, I wouldn't be part of this.
No.
Anyway.
That's why I was like, no.
The poker hands are on. They have all started.
So, what's our questions of the evening, Megan? I forget now, even though it's been like 30 seconds.
Has anyone started their poker hands yet? Or what's your favorite thing to do with strawberries?
Ooh, because tonight's meal...
Tonight's salad is a strawberry-based salad.
And
I am looking forward to this possibility. It's got to be better than the last one.
Because if you guys remember last year's strawberry salad, it weren't that good.
Let's just say the New Zealanders and I am not sure agree on what should be put into a salad and what toppings should go with it. So anyway, this one I think is very similar to something that my mom has made in the past. So I'm really hoping it's very similar.
You know what we should do? Because almost every recipe that you've done has been similar to one that you've done in the past, or somebody that you know has been done in the past. Maybe we should make both of them and compare. So choose.
We did that with the lemonade with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. With Tori's lemonade versus.
I think that we should do that. Was it Monster Chocolate Chip Cookie?
Oh, I knew you were going for the chocolate chip cookie. The chocolate chip cookie that we did last August. Because you made them because we were down in Williamsburg.
Correction. My sister and mom made them. I supervised.
Okay, you were in charge of.
I supervised.
I was not making. But they were very popular with all the ladies down there.
Oh my gosh. Those...
Because you left them and everybody else helped get rid of them very quickly.
Those were the best chocolate chip cookies I have ever had.
Well, and they were thick.
They were monster. I don't even know if that's what they called them, monster.
I don't think they were monster. Because monster cookie means something completely else. Because that means you have all those other things inside.
Amazing.
That are the oatmeal and the M&Ms and the chocolate chips.
Like everything but the kitchen sink kind of thing?
Yeah. Because you can, obviously nuts, raisins, that kind of stuff you can make optional depending on what you've got. But I think it was like a peanut butter and, I mean, it had everything.
It was really good. All right, you guys. So we've got, Steph was talking about Lucky 7. If you've never done the Lucky 7, she mentioned the shops that are participating. You got to go into each shop and just inside. And just for participating, you get one of these guys. Okay? And then,
pick a card, any card.
If you're wearing a bracelet from the Iowa State Fair showing that you went, I'm assuming.
Which is also started.
You get one more of these. And then, for every $25 you spend, you get one more of these. So I had a gal come in today. She spent $150, and that's pre-tax. And she got six of these, plus her one for coming in. She did not go to the fair, so she didn't get her fair one. So she got a total of 7 cards. Now,
she has her hand.
she's already got her hand. And then it's just like poker. It's like 5-card draw poker kind of thing. You get your best 5-card hand. And at the end, at the very last shop, each shop has like a cheat sheet so you guys can see what each, hand should be, which ones are the best. Of course, the royal flush would be the best. And then that's where you turn in your cards. And you want to make sure that you're signing your name on the card, okay? So you turn in your card, and I think you turn in your scorecard is what they're calling it. Not a passport, a scorecard.
Scorecard.
And then the highest card or highest deck wins. And there's more information on that because,
there's more details.
There's more details.
These are more directions to get to all the places.
Yeah, I think the instructions are on the second page. It's attached to the scorecard. And if that is not green, it's not eligible.
Okay, no copies.
No copies, guys. And no green copies. Let's be fair. Let's go into the shops, and that's the whole idea.
Well, that and all the shops have marked their cards. So if you don't have a marked card, it's not going to work anyway.
Nope.
So, and you don't know what the mark is that they've done. So, there you go. Oops.
There you go.
Tipping all over and everything. There we go.
All right. So Simply Mays Cafe is open once again. If you're here in town, there's a fruit fly flying around here, guys. If you guys are here in Story City, you know that Jesse and Candy have closed up shop. They no longer have the boutique open, and they no longer have the cafe open. They found a buyer for the cafe, so we again have a Simply Mays Cafe.
And it is open.
I think it's open Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Saturdays. But if you go out on Facebook, follow them, Simply Mays Cafe on Facebook, you're going to see all that information. And I'm sure we'll get updates on that too.
So we have some comments coming back from our strawberries. Number 1, the very first comment, Stan, he wants to eat the strawberries. We also have chocolate dipped strawberries. Someone wants to make jam. That's Julie wants to make jam.
There's nothing better than homemade strawberry jam.
Well, in our house, Grandma Jam. That's what it's called. It's called Grandma Jam. Mom, do you have any more Grandma Jam?
Like, you got to hide it if you want to get any.
And Liz is watching too. So, hi, Liz. So,
we got Linda over here from Denver. Hi, Linda.
Oh, Simply Mays is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 3.
Monday through Friday, it's open 10 to 3. Hot
nice.
dog. Oh, I like that.
So, we've got it all week.
Monday through
That's
Friday,
awesome.
Simply Mays Cafe, 10 to 3.
No early breakfasts, but you can get there for a quick snack. You can get there for lunch. And maybe an afternoon dessert.
Brunch.
And you can always bring me something because I'll be in the pharmacy because I can't leave.
Just a few doors down. Yeah.
So, yeah, or if you come in this direction, you can always drop something off here. Anybody who's working would thoroughly appreciate it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. As when I was at Iowa Falls, Megan and her mom and grandma, Pat, they came and visited me. Well, they just came to the shop because Megan wanted yarn. But they went over to the Coffee Attic, which is another fantastical spot in Iowa Falls if you want some good coffee. And I think they've got sandwiches and stuff there too. And it's just a really, just awesome vibe and atmosphere. It's so cool there. And they accidentally did a wrong drink for the girls. And so they brought me the wrong drink. So it was very good. It was Italian soda. So I got a free Italian
non-coffee.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. Non-coffee.
And then, so Denise was there. Obviously, it was Saturday. And a customer came in and she started raving about how awesome her mom's baking is and yada, yada, yada. And her mom's like 80-something years old, maybe 90 years old. And Denise goes, well, I wouldn't know. I've never had any. So the lady comes back a few hours later with a homemade, fresh, peach muffin.
I saw a recipe this morning for peach cobbler in a muffin.
Yes.
Like you do a peach cobbler muffin. I'm like, Sign me up.
So I can attest that her mother is a very good baker because that was a delicious peach muffin.
I like this theory. This is what you've got to say when people go, oh, I've never tried that before.
Oh, you say you're a good baker? Well, I wouldn't know. Bless you. Bless you.
Excuse me.
I've never tried your baking before. Oh, you say you're rich? Well, I wouldn't know. I've never seen your money. No, I'm kidding.
But, allow us to provide you with something in exchange for that money. We've got lots of fabric.
We've got lots of stuff. Okay, so that is, I don't even know where we're going. Story time.
Talk about tangents. Jeez.
Story time. All right, guys. So
nowhere.
remember, we've got our BOGO half off. Buy one, get one half off. Or fill 40 weight, and that's through our Lucky 7. So through the 20th, thank you, the 20th. So come on in and get your Aurifil 40 weight. Buy one, get one. Half off.
Yeah.
Such a deal.
We're doing pretty well over there.
Yes, we are. Except for Megan was telling somebody about it, and they bought 50 weight.
Oh. No. Well, you buy what you need. But we still have the 50 weight. It's just not on sale.
It's just not on sale. Just the 40 weight. What else do we have for announcements?
Oh. Got people from Storm Lake and from Big Cabin. Bleh, can't talk. Big Cabin, Oklahoma.
Welcome. Big Cabin, Oklahoma? That's got to be the coolest name for a city I've ever heard. Where do you live, Big Cabin, Oklahoma?
Bet. I met someone the other day who had moved here from Oklahoma.
Do you know what that makes me want to do?
Move to Oklahoma?
No.
Sing Oklahoma.
Oh,
bingo!
Okay, anyway, we won't.
We won't. So you guys, I wanted just to do a little quick announcement about something coming up. We don't have dates quite yet, but something is coming up. And it's, Megan, how long have you been doing this?
This is year 4.
This is year 4 of Megan's Drive. And it's a drive for pads and tampons. So these go to the food banks as well as schools and where else?
We also go to a women's shelter in Ames.
Women's shelter in Ames. So I remember a story that Megan told me. There's a family that had multiple daughters and they couldn't afford to supply all their daughters with supplies. And so they were literally forced to only allow one daughter a month to go to school, and they would rotate the daughters during that time of the month. So this is really important that that we collect these so that way people can go to school and do things and live their life. So
you hate to have something that basic knock you out of life.
Not available.
Yeah.
So, and the food bank does supply some, but they limit how much each family can get. And so it's super important that we offer more resources so they can allow more to go to the families that need it. So we don't have dates quite yet, but can I just say that if you guys want to drop, I'm looking at Megan to make sure I'm okay, that if you feel the need to drop some supplies off at either Iowa Falls or Story City, and I better tell the girls at Iowa Falls soon, or they're going to be like, oh, what's this all about?
So we heard you need stuff, and they're like, not really?
Nope. So please do. We'll start collecting them now, but again, Megan's official kickoff is to be determined yet. But we're on.
It's sort of like food bank. We are always willing to take whatever.
We're willing to take food.
Yeah. It may go for us, especially if it's cooked, ready to go, presented very nicely on a plate.
Okay, Megan, can I ask a question? Do you remember the number that you received last year?
Well, last year it was around 11,000 products, I believe.
So
11,000. Holy mackerel.
11,000 products. So you guys, let's see if we can knock last year's numbers out of the park. 11,000 is our number to beat. So
that would be
challenge
awesome.
Accepted.
And sometimes it's one of those things where you're no longer needing the supplies that you already have. So
my brain is thinking.
Uh-oh. Her brain is thinking. We'll be back to you later. We're now going to be on pause for a moment.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, and then before I say it loud.
Oh, okay.
What if we did like the canned food? Would they get like a free fat quarter?
We could find that's fine with me.
For one item, one per person. Per customer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I've got okie dokie on this. So if you guys
We'll get
know,
those made up.
in the past, when we were doing a canned food drive for the local food bank here, we were doing, if you bring something in and it was one customer per...
If you bring in an item, you receive a
free fat quarter. So, and it was just one fat quarter per customer.
Right.
So, let's do this. If you guys bring in an item, you all get a free fat quarter. So that's how much we care about it. So we want to make sure that gets done. And am I embarrassing you?
No.
Okay, good. I'm just checking. I have to do that with Cooper. I'll do stuff and I look at him. Am I embarrassing you? He's like, no. So
he's lived with you most of his life. I'm pretty sure he knows how to accept what you do now.
True. So, upcoming details on this of when and where, but for right now, bring it into It's So Tempting in Story City, and then Iowa Falls, and then you said Bergen Lutheran and Roland too, but they're probably not accepting yet.
Probably not.
Okay, so just Iowa Falls and It's So Tempting. All right, moving on.
Okay.
Saying you only get a fat quarter if you bring it to the quilt store. We're not
Yeah.
going to track people down.
And right now, you only get a fat quarter here at It's So Tempting because, well, first of all, the girls at Iowa Falls have no clue that this is happening yet. Unless, Lisa, you happen to be watching, which, awesome. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to make sure to let them know.
Yeah. Once we communicate, then things will happen. But
This dress has pockets, by the way.
I was noticing that. It's a very interesting...
It's $14 at TJ Maxx, this dress. It's
Really?
a Zara dress. I found it at TJ Maxx.
Zara?
Yeah, for $14.
Who's Zara?
It's a brand.
Oh, okay.
It's a brand that you want. So it's... I know, I couldn't...
Okay,
I couldn't
so you want to
resist.
do your little thingy, or you want to do...
Well, what's our
else?
time? I suppose so. Okay, so as promised, I sort of kind of figured out...
At the last minute.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. This Marty Michelle, my favorite miter tool, it is actually pretty cool. I was struggling with the instructions because they're not
As distinct as others
that
types.
Marty does.
Yeah.
And a lot of times she'll do good pictures. This one doesn't have as many pictures, and apparently reading is hard for me, and I like pictures. So, okay, yeah.
That one's driving me crazy.
Yeah. I kind of did it all messy up there. So,
Yeah, the type A in me is just going crazy with this.
So, anywho, Mary, I can never pronounce Mary's last name, so I'm so sorry. Gouge, I think is how she says it. She came in today, and I haven't seen her in forever, and I was telling her about it, and she's like, and then her husband was here, and he's like, well, I bet you can just YouTube it and watch Marty do it. And I'm like,
I tried.
I found it.
Okay, because I never found it.
Well, here's the thing. I YouTubed it. I found it. Took me a little bit. Then I went out to her website where we order these, and her YouTube's, there's 4 parts to it, and they're very short, are right on there.
Okay, well, that works.
So they thought of everything. So here's the tool. Okay? And if you guys remember, a couple weeks back, I said to Steph, look what I found, and blah, blah, blah. And this is supposed to help you set yourself up to get a good miter border on your quilt. Okay?
That's the 45 degree at the other end.
Okay. So I'm going to unpin something as soon as I find it. Oh, Lordy.
Yes. We do know what we're doing. We
do.
are professional. No, we're not professionals because we don't get paid for this.
Okay, so let me move stuff out of the way, and maybe we'll have to tilt her down
Okay.
since we
I'll
have.
tell you what. I'll just go over here and tilt, and you can do what you need.
Guys, we are high tech. We have an official tilter tool. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
We got an official tilter tool. All right, you guys.
Called me.
So it's called Steph. So essentially what you want to do is to figure out the length of the border that you need. You need to take the measurement of your quilt, okay, that you're going to be adding the border to. So this one is 54, 52 inches. What's 17 and a half times 2?
35.
35. It's 35. Are you
But
sure?
that's really close to 54. So.
Well, hang on now. Let me measure this, because why is 54 stuck in my head then? Okay, no, 35. I just might be a little dyslexic in the brain. All right, guys. So what you want to do is you want to take that measurement. You want to divide that by 2. So that's 17 and a half. And then you're going to minus a ½ inch.
So you subtract another ½ inch. So instead of 17 and a half, we're going for 17.
Correct. But that is not how you figure out how long you need it to be, because that's where we were going first before we had the whole 54-inch debacle.
Okay.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to take the 35 inches, then the width from here to here of the border that you want. So what is this, 3 inches, 3.5, times that by 2, so that's 7. So 35 plus 7 is 42.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Mental math is good. And then you add an extra few inches. So like another 4 inches to that. So it's like 46 inches. Here's what I would do. I would take the width of fabric, which is what, 40 something, add both of these just so you have a nice long piece to work with. And you're guaranteed to have plenty. Okay. So that's what I would do. Now,
46, 54, whatever
80,
it takes.
80. So
math is unnecessary if you just double everything.
just double it. Just use 2. It'll all work out. It's just like carpentry. You can sand it out.
Yes.
You can sand it out. Okay. So here's where the whole 17 and a half minus the ½ inch comes into play. Okay. So I'm going to measure using this side here. I guess I should flip it around. So the long side. Okay. I'm going to use this to measure my 17 inches because that's the number I'm looking for. So from the edge.
From the folded
edge, because I'm folding it in half because it's just going to be easier for me to measure, obviously, because this doesn't go big enough. So I'm putting the blunt tip to the edge, and I'm giving myself just a little bit of room at the top so that I can make my markings. And if you have one of these lovely Quilter Select self-erase markers in your stash, they come in very handy. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to mark it like so. Then I'm going to flip this guy around so that way I'm going to use the shorter edge, which also has these engineered holes. Oops. There you go. Kind of see that? And you know what? I need to poke a hole. I need a
pin.
Gimme a birdie. I'm a birdie. Okay.
Don't get the whole bird. I can't trust you with a whole bird.
So, and the reason why I have the paper on here, guys, is so that way you could see it on the screen. Okay? Because otherwise it's clear and it's hard to see. So now I'm going to line the hole up with the mark that I made at the 17 inches. Like so, like that. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make my mark right there. And then I'm going to draw a line right along that diagonal line. Okay? Now the idea that they tell you to do is to then take a pin through to the other side, mark it there, and do all your markings. I found it easier to actually just flip it to the reverse side, flip this to the reverse side, which of course now I can't see very well, but that's okay because I already marked it. The magic of TV. Do the same thing, mark your side, and now you have the opposite ends. Okay? So,
which should technically be exactly the same spot.
Exactly the same spot because I measured gooder.
Well, you're not cutting actually right now.
So she does tell you in the instructions, if you're brave, you can go ahead and trim off at the line. But no, we are not brave. We are not that brave. So what you want to do now is you're going to set this aside. You're going to grab your quilt. You're going to find the edge that you're going to take it to. And I start in the center, and I've marked my center on here. And this quilt, I can see where my center is at, plus I've got a nice fold that'll indicate the center. And I'm going to do right sides together because we're getting it ready to sew. And then I'm going to pin the center. And y'all know how much I hate pinning, so if I'm telling you to pin it, it's probably a good idea.
Pretty important.
Okay? Now, this is where I was getting tripped up. I was reading the directions, and every time I would finish, it would my dot would come out like way out here, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, because my dot should be exactly this dot right here should be exactly a 1/4 inch from this side and a 1/4 inch from the top, okay? Because that's a start and stop position.
Sewing position.
Sewing position. So I'm just going to pin it there and then pin it on the other side in that same lucrative position.
Lucrative?
Lucrative, because it is the ideal spot to start and stop sewing.
Okay.
Lucrative. You make your money on it, honey.
Okay.
Money, honey. Now, I did the miter borders in the darker blue, and I really wasn't happy with it. And it's because I was missing something. And it wasn't until Steph came in and said something, and she's like, well, you have to minus a 1/2 inch. And if you obviously can't see me on screen, I just whacked my head.
It's a forehead.
Yeah.
Face palm type
Face
moment.
palm type thing. So basically you're going to start and stop your stitching on that, and that's what I've done on this side here. And just like other methods for doing your miters, I'm going to pinch. I've got a lot of tail going on here, guys, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to take the border that's already sewn on and the border that I need to sew, and if you feel the need to maybe put another pin or two in between the 3, go for it. Whatever you need to do. I'm going to pin it so it's wrong sides together. Okay? So I have the borders on the side border and the top border that I just put on.
So wrong sides together?
Wrong sides together. Wrong sides together.
Okay.
Wrong sides together. Okay? So I literally... I feel like I'm at a wedding dress. You've got this train going on, and it's just annoying. And I'm short too, guys. So if you know you're short,
you should be used to that by now.
It still is irritating though. So now I've got kind of like this long line, and I'll flip it around because that's where my line is at. Can you see that line? It might be faded.
Oh, this line here.
Yeah, let me flip it around. So you can see that line that I made. I think that it's kind of faded because it's been a while, and this is a, yeah. So anyways, you sew on that, you don't sew on that line. That was the other thing that was throwing me off. You start in that point, that dot that you made, because that is going to hit right at the other side, at the dot, and it's going to give you that tight, clean seam. And you use the line as your guide. So
you're sewing inside.
You're sewing inside the line, a 1/4 inch, and that line is a guide. It is not a sewing line, okay?
And the other thing I learned was you don't necessarily have to do the borders individually. You can make them border units.
Yes.
So you sew both your borders together, you have that extra space, and then you do it all at once. So you're not doing this 8 times, you're doing it 4 times.
I'm not sure I understand that.
Well, okay, this one that you already did here, you sew these two together.
Oh, I see. So the inner and outer borders you're sewing as one unit.
Right.
I gotcha. Okay,
Right.
yes, that is
Right.
true. And that's going to give you a cleaner seam. It'll line up perfectly when
Right.
you actually go to sew it onto this guy here.
But when you're learning, we need more corners to practice on, so that's
Exactly.
why we do it this way.
Exactly. So you guys, I will show you, because I have, I think this one. Now, this one I did before I really understood, but it's still pretty dang decent. I'm not dissatisfied with that. And like Denise always says, you only get so many perfect miters in your lifetime, and this isn't perfect, and I'd like to keep doing them, so I'm okay with that.
We can always save those for later on. And this one is not going to the state competition,
No.
so we don't have to worry about that.
But
There's still practice.
Miss Christine Hobbs from Hobbs Designs, who does our T-Rex. You're gonna do that? Okay. Who does all of our awesome paper piecing, T-Rex, Color of Love, Stella.
Stop.
Oh, go. Yeah, you're good. Just like starting off. Maybe a little bit more back.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
I forget it has that bounce back. So if you guys want to go to the State Fair and check out some really awesome quilts, Miss Chris is in there, and she is there all week long.
Well, she's talented enough to be able to do that. See, my Aunt Judy is in the cross stitch.
Oh.
She always has something fantastic.
Hers
there,
are amazing.
So I'm not planning on going there. I like appreciating it.
So if you guys, if I'm hoping that made sense. If we need to make it more clear, give us a holler.
Stop by. We now both have a general clue, and hopefully Megan does too.
Actually, we're going to let Megan do it.
Yeah, we're just throwing to Megan. Here you go, Megan. It's all yours.
I made a stripe quote once, so I can probably...
You can do that.
That's the next step,
Well,
right?
speaking of stripes, did you see that I had chosen my fabric for the next Marty and Me?
I saw it, but I didn't know what it was for.
Yes. So this is our next one. Our Marty and Me is going to start in September, and so we're going to be doing this. But I'm sort of combining the two because why? I can't follow a pattern for anything. I have to try and do my own thing. So we are going with African fabrics. So we've got the 3 different African fabrics here.
African inspired.
African inspired. And to finish the whole quilt up.
I thought you were going to do batiks.
No. We're going to do a zebra border.
Where's your thing? I'll be back.
I'll be
We have
back.
a question on the live. What is the name of the tool?
The name of the tool for Marty or for the miter?
I'm not sure. It just says
Well, the Marty and Me is the flying geese ruler that we're going to start with for our class for year 2 of the Marty and Me club.
And this one is called My Favorite Mitering Ruler. But I will tell you, I already sold the other one that we had.
So we need to get more.
So I do need to get more. But if you guys would like us to get some for you, we will
can
order those.
order for you.
Yes.
That is not a problem.
This is what she does with stripes, people. Oh, wait, I should have warned y'all. If you have seizures,
Yes.
look away. Okay.
But it's even more interesting if you're turning it sideways and
Oh,
things
I
like
won't
that.
do
So
that.
anyway, but this tool, this side of the tool, this tool makes awesome borders that work really well with stripes. So that's why I wanted to do that. So I'm actually combining 2. She gives you like 5 examples in her zigzag book.
She always gives multiple patterns examples in all of her stuff that she has.
What she says on here is instructions for 5 projects, inspiration for more. So I'm combining 2 instructions because of the inspiration. So how's that? Anyway, it is going to be a really fun quilt. I'm looking forward to it. And I was going to, if I had worked today, I would have been cutting it out, but I haven't gotten here. So I will be doing that on Saturday. So
She did very important things today. She cleaned the garage.
I did. I cleaned my garage. Okay, this has been a good week. Dwayne and I cleaned my van. Then we went to wash my van together. I don't know if I mentioned it last week or not, but he calls it the Tunnel of Love when we drive through. Yeah, didn't do anything interesting. They have video cameras in there. You wouldn't want to do anything. But we did that. And then now my side of the garage is clean. So that way I can just start off with a fairly clean. Never mind the fact that I've got a blue puddle from where all the freeze stuff
Antifreeze?
melted. And not antifreeze. It's the
salt.
the
stuff?
salt. The blue.
Oh.
They had blue salt. Anyway, somehow for some reason it melted through a container and it's now sitting under my garbage.
That's kind of scary if it's melting through
But-
like plastic.
Do you know what building Chris will be in at the state fair?
I do not. Can we look that up? Is it like State Fair? Oh my gosh! You know what this is like? This is like the Joe Rogan show where he's got the guy on the side and Google that.
Okay.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
gosh.
miter tool, Marty. Yeah, the Marty and Me will be using the flying geese. So that's going to be fun, and that's going to be doing every single piece in the quilt. Is that little flying geese? But it looked more interesting this way because there's a lot of things you can do. There are some that just I don't know what it is, but when they're all lined up and they're going like they're flying in the flying geese formation. That just looks exhausting to me. This one I didn't think looked quite as exhausting. So it should be fun. I'm really excited. So this is the 2nd year of Marty and Me. The 3rd year we're doing Marty and Me, but this class, this is like the sophomore year of Marty and me. So if you want to join us, we will get that in the system. You should be able to sign up here pretty soon. We'll be starting in September, and it is the second week in September because the third week is Emma, and the fourth week is iStash.
And
Emma up
at
there.
Iowa Falls.
And then there's also Denise's sewing group.
On the second Saturday,
on the
which
second
is this
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes.
So.
After that big discussion that you had the other day.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what day it is. It's just a blur. So you guys, this weekend at Iowa Falls at 2 o'clock is iStash, or not iStash, see? Quilt Club. Quilt Club.
Quilt Club up there,
Club.
and then
Iowa
down
Falls.
here we have Marty. Well, we don't have Marty and me this month.
That's why
next month.
Denise leads it, because obviously she's been doing it for years, and yes, I would be confused.
And she knows what to call it.
Yes. But speaking with that, this guy.
And yes, Jean, I am very lucky that my husband's willing to do it.
So your flying geese ruler, not only can you be using this for her patterns, but think about all the flying geese patterns that you guys have in your stash, whether it's at Villa Rosa or some other thing. You can absolutely try and configure it to use this guy.
And she's got a couple different flying geese. This one is a 5-inch, but you can also go down to 3 inches. You may not be able to see
So
it.
it's like
I
a
don't
multi?
know.
Is it a
But yeah,
multi-tool?
it's a multi-tool. So you got 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and then 5.
Awesome.
And the ones we're doing in ours are the full one. So it's a 5-inch. So it's a big goose.
It's a big goose. It's a
But
big goose.
and this is. She has a couple of different flying geese sizes.
She does. She does.
And I think this is one of her smaller ones.
And she's got other multi.
Plus the small diagonal set ruler, that could be a really big goose.
Right triangle one. I mean, she's got a bunch of
Yeah.
other ones that we can be using for other patterns that aren't hers, but we can adapt it to be using it.
It's actually fun trying to do that adaptation.
Just get some fabric you don't care about and cut away and figure it out. That's how we roll. So, what else do we have?
We've got this. Are these supposed to be?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, but speaking of that, you guys, if you want to sign up for our Villa Rosa of the Month Club, we're getting it slowly kind of figured out and dialed in and all kind of, awesome. Because I've had to ask for more of them on a monthly basis.
Which is really
Which is
awesome.
very cool. So if you guys want to get signed up for that, that is less than $13 a month. You will get the first 5 newest, latest, greatest Villa Rosa patterns every single month. So we love our Villa Rosas, and they are awesome. They're small. You can trade them. I had a gal come in the other day at Iowa Falls who she was kind of looking through them, and she was wanting her, I think, 14-year-old granddaughter to start to sew because she had shown some interest. And so she thought these would be a great way to do it. Well, now you add on that Villa Rosa design app that you can get on your phone. And you know how teenagers love their apps.
Of course.
And,
of course.
You can see which ones you have, which ones you want. You can see what kind of yardage it takes. It's got a fantastic filter on that app. Highly encourage you guys to download that app off of your App Store, Play Store, iStore. I don't know what Apple is. Apples are weird. So I encourage you guys to do that. But Villa Rosa patterns are they're awesome.
They really are.
They're fun.
Yeah. It's good to have some basic knowledge before you, if you need to be told exactly what to do step by step, it's nice to have one of the bigger, thicker books. Mm-hmm. But if you have some basic knowledge on what to do, Villa Rosas, they are just ideas to be inspired.
Sorry.
So
I'm playing with the fruit fly over here.
Now, can you tell me about Emma and what you guys have been up to?
So, as you can see, the thickness of the bolts has decreased measurably because the lady behind the screen and her grandmother have been busily cutting out kits.
Look at how skinny that dude is.
We are, I think, month 4?
Yes.
So our goal is, we have the first 6 months worth of fabric. Our goal is to cut out all 6 months and put them in these amazing Ziploc bags. So when you guys come in, you're going to come in and pick it up. Your name will be on it and barcoded, so that way when it goes to the register, all we have to do is scan it and it pulls up. Yes.
That'll be great.
That was idea number 3 that I had after I printed labels out.
Okay.
Anyways, but it's worth it. So your name will be on there. You'll come in either to Story City on the 20th of this month or the 27th, because that would be the following Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes, math is good.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, the fourth Saturday at Iowa Falls. Pat Minnick will be leading the one here in Story City, and I will be leading the one in Iowa Falls. And I encourage coffee and donuts at mine. Just so you know.
And I should be here most of those Saturdays with Pat, so
Yes.
feel free to bring coffee and donuts. Pat will not be joining us, but
No, you don't want coffee.
well, she can have coffee. I can have donuts.
Okay, yeah, donuts for her. So, anyways, we cut out 16 kits, and we had several other people that signed up after we did our last little thing, last little bit of live on that. And so we have just a few more spots available, you guys. So if you want to get in on this, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. All batiks. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And if you want to come in and peruse the fabrics that we have, touch them, and because we quilters love to touch our fabrics and caress them and do all sorts of weird things like that. So please do come on in and get yourself signed up before they are all gone. Okay. I do have a gal from Florida that I'm like, she wants to get like 6 months at a time, and I haven't heard back from her. So if she doesn't get back to me soon, we might be out. So sign up soon.
Hopefully soon, yes. But
Call us at 515-733-0182 to get your Emma registration sign up dealy bobber.
can they do it online?
They can, yes. Also, it'sotempting.com. Type in the keyword Emma in the search field, and you too will be able to register for the Emma Block of the Month. And there was something else I wanted to say about it. I do not remember.
We have all the patterns. We have...
Oh, you don't need to bring anything. Bring your lovely selves, your smiles. That's it.
Enthusiasm is good.
Enthusiasm, your laughter, because we're going to have a good time, as always.
And I know Pat has all kinds of ideas, so...
Maybe a notebook and a pen, so you can jot all these ideas down. So maybe bring a notebook and a pen.
Unless you have a photographic type memory.
This girl. Not this girl. All right.
I'm just memory question mark.
Steph, let's get to the food, man.
Let's get to the food. Okay, guys. So, this week... Where did it go? Okay.
The country register.
Country register, yes.
Make sure you guys pick your country register stuff at your participating quilt shops, because it's awesome.
They are great to have. So this week, we are doing strawberry spinach salad, which I am thoroughly expecting to be a lot better than the last salad that I attempted
Can
to
you
do.
just remind them of what was in the
Okay.
last one?
The
This
last
is the last
salad,
one.
Okay, the last salad was strawberries, mushrooms, French dressing, and I think that should be enough to tell you that it's not going to work.
I'm not a fan of French dressing anyway.
Well, I like French dressing, but, it had other things in it. It was not meant to be together, guys. This one there's mayonnaise, there's vinegar, there's poppy seeds. I mean, and it also said onions, but I did not put onions in because I don't really like raw onions. I know she does. But, you can always add that. You can also add other things if you want.
It looks beautiful. Look at this color, you guys.
And this is probably about maybe a quarter of what was available to make. And I have the rest of it at home. I was not going to bring this bowl that's this big. But it's spinach, it's regular head, it's a head of lettuce, it's one of the smaller containers, it's about this size of spinach, and then it's mayonnaise, sugar, poppy seeds, and really, other than that, there's not a whole lot else.
It smells delicious. You can smell that obviously fresh strawberries in there, so you can smell those fresh strawberries.
And I did slice all the strawberries. I used... those egg slicers? That's what I use to slice my strawberries because I'm just too doggone lazy to try and slice them all. So,
All right, my dear.
Anyway, so this is a much healthier version, I'm guessing, than what that other...
And I suppose if you're diabetic, you could substitute like a stevia or some sort of sugar substitute.
Oh, I'm sure you probably could. I'm trying to make this so I can actually put it in my mouth and not have it
So look at that.
You have to have the strawberry. It's a
So-
nice color.
That's coated with that dressing that you made with. You said it was vinegar
And mayonnaise
and mayonnaise. Okay.
and a little bit of sugar.
It's a little acid, a little sugar.
And then the poppy seeds. I'm not sure I would put as many poppy seeds. It called for a tablespoon of poppy seeds. I don't know that the poppy seeds do anything other than just add a little texture. A little opium feeling. I don't know.
Well, I was just going to say, I used to not eat poppy seeds because in my brain I was like, oh, they're going to do a random drug test and then poppy seeds it doesn't work that
But
way.
we haven't tested here for a long time. So you're safe, Megan, if you want to do something.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers. Mmm. 1,000 times better than last year's.
Yeah. Well, and it does say serve immediately, and this has been here since the beginning of the show. I did make it right before we came in, but it's good, and I can see why they say serve it immediately.
Yeah, because
I think refrigerated would be good, or that kind of thing. So anyway, just remember that it's not the kind of thing you want to have just sitting around. But I think it's a really good salad.
Good.
This is a good choice.
And if you're low in iron, you can get some good spinach in you.
Exactly. You could do the whole thing with spinach rather than doing a head of lettuce and the spinach.
But I like the texture that
But
both
it's nice
gives.
to have the combination.
Yeah, the texture.
Because one's a little
that
bit crunchier than the other. But anyway, it is definitely, this one is a much better one. This is very similar to what my mom makes.
Now, what does your mom do different? Do
I
you know?
don't know. I just eat the salads. I've never shown up when she made it. But I think she'll lay her strawberries like on top rather than mixing them in. Of course, she's putting it on all our plates, and then so I wasn't going to do that here. So anyway, but it
Very good.
but it's ranch is this last one. This is much better. Definitely worth doing on this one.
This is why we do this for you guys, because what happens if you had gotten that country register on the last recipe and wasted all that money and time preparing it, and it was horrible? We taste test, so you don't have to.
Well, and then Eileen redid it with balsamic vinegar, which was obviously going to be a better choice than French dressing. But then she cooked it.
I sauteed it.
It was
And I
not a
made
salad
I
anymore.
made it like it probably would have been
a compote kind
a
of.
compote. It would have been amazing on a good steak. But I ate it just as is. And I added onions.
She ate the whole thing.
I just sat there and ate it. Because that's what I do. All right, you guys. I think, is that all we have?
I think that is pretty much what we've got.
So next week, you guys, I'm hoping that I can cover a few things that I've got off to the side, Quilter Select related. So I just want to let you guys know, Quilter Select is not only rulers and rotary cutters, although those are amazing, but they do have other products in their lineup. So we're going to be talking about that next week, I hope, if I remember. So anyways, we will see you. Well, no, that's your part. I almost did your part. I'm so sorry.
That's good because I would have been blank.
So thanks for hanging out with the best quilt shop owners here in Story City and Iowa Falls.
We'll see you next week. Same so time, same so place. Bye.
Oh, wait. I gotta turn this
Yeah,
off.
you got to turn it off before you take a bite.
Somebody's hungry.